Hello, folks. Welcome to. I was about to say minions at the zoo. Let's see if I can.
See, you can't blame me all the time.
I can't, but I could if I wanted to, but it wouldn't be true. That's the sad part.
Well, no, because you'd probably start blaming someone else, thinking you're blaming Camel, and the wrong name would come out.
Yeah. I'll just blame the kids.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the Powwow stream. Not to be confused with the minions of the zoo. But I am your host, Johnny Hellcat, and with me today are Hey Camel.
Hello, hello.
And Delahazed.
Yo, and hello.
How are you guys doing?
I mean, we both are minions, though.
All three of us.
All three of us.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is Minions of the Zoo, so it's like
Well, I remembered what show I was on, so I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
I mean, I knew it was too early for the late stream, so I knew it wasn't that particular broadcast, but
this is what happens.
I'm just going with it.
This is what happens when it's 3 months between streams.
Well, whose fault is that?
Well, technically it was Nana Camel's fault, but
how dare you?
Wow.
How dare you? You're just gonna sit there.
I said technically.
Ladies and gentlemen, please send your hate mail to johnnyhellcat@gmail.com.
Joke's on you. That's not my Gmail address.
You know, I was kind of hoping that was the case, but you had to go and ruin it by telling the audience. So thanks for that. Any more disappointments you want to give out?
No, it would be hitcamel@gmail.com.
Oh.
I don't check my email accounts, Johnny.
No.
Go ahead, send whatever you want. I'm not gonna open it.
The only time he checks it is when I'm like, "Hey, you should check this," and he's like, "Oh, okay. Well,
Why?
I'll get to it."
Then I gotta
I'll get to it when I can.
Password and everything to get back into my email address.
I mean, to be fair, if I was giving someone an email address to send hate mail towards, I wouldn't read that email either. I wouldn't open that account either.
I'll see. Where did I put stuff?
Should we talk about the Indian news first, or do we want to talk about current events?
Well, we can start with current events.
Well, Mr. Yes is talking about the Neil Young, Joe Rogan. You guys are up on that, right?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I could give the twoest of shits.
Apparently, Barry Manilow and Joni Mitchell, like, they said they're pulling their shit too. It's like, okay.
Well, Barry Manilow.
The Barry Manilow one is a rumor, which he later came out and said that he never said that.
Oh, see, I missed that update. Okay.
Yeah, I heard about that on Monkey.
I did see Joni Mitchell earlier today, though.
Now, for those of you who don't know, or actually for those of you who do, can you tell me who the fuck she is?
Oh,
apparently a singer. I cannot name any Joni Mitchell songs. Not in my wheelhouse.
The name sounds familiar. Have I threatened her before? Or...
I mean, I literally only have a Spotify to listen to Rogan. That's the reason why I got it. And if I want to listen to music, I just usually play it on YouTube.
Well, I suppose I could share this just so that we at least have an idea.
Well, as far as fucking Neil Young goes, I think Leonard Skinner said it best when a Southern man don't need him around anyhow.
Yeah, they were just joking though.
Yeah, but it kind of rings true right now. I don't give a shit.
This is the first time I've talked about Neil Young in I don't know how many years. I think the last time I heard anything about Neil Young in the news, he was working on some kind of audio platform.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
That was, I don't know, 5,
doesn't
10,
matter.
10 years ago.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with him. I just don't give a shit about him. So if he's on Spotify or not for one stupid reason or another, who gives a fuck? Let him fucking have his little hissy fit and move on with it, folks.
Yeah. Hey, Simius.
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah. Maybe.
There we go. Maybe.
Well, if we would have let Dela answer first, it would have been a lot different result here.
Right. It's been a minute. Della, how you doing?
Better than I deserve. How about you?
Yeah. Them there.
All right. Yeah.
I don't think I've talked to Sinius like before.
No, Camel. I think this is the first time we've ever talked.
This is a first.
Normally, I
for
just see you on Twitter, and
Oh yeah.
you always manage to find just an amazing group of individuals to communicate with.
Well, it is Twitter.
This is true.
Yeah, I guess I just don't go looking that much.
And you're assuming that I do.
Right?
This
is Twitter. You don't find things, they find you.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, like I said, not very many of them find me, so I guess I'm doing a good job of camouflaging myself.
Camouflaging.
Who was it? Was it Eve? Was like, yeah, I don't fuck around on Twitter much anymore. I stay in my Discord. I was like, that's probably a smart idea. Like, it's just cancer.
Yeah.
It's such an entertaining cancer.
I'll scroll through, once or twice a day at this point. I don't really feel the need to comment. Just like, oh, that happened. Okay. Just keep scrolling.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a masochist, so when I see something, I'm just like,
Oh, I have my moments. There'd be like a day or two where I'll just scroll Twitter all day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just love to poke dead bodies with a stick.
But yeah,
One way to put it.
I didn't know that Neil Young had any music on Spotify. Didn't go listen for it. Really, I guess I still listen to the radio like in the car. That's the most time I listen to music now.
Yeah, I've got albums on my phone I listen to. Yeah.
That or if I'm sitting at the computer, I'll throw stuff up on YouTube or the Discord.
Oh god, yeah, gotta have that background noise.
Yeah.
So I'm not missing out on Neil or Joni. I do hear him on the radio occasionally at the local classic rock station. They'll play like a Heart of Gold or something like that.
Yeah, the occasional Rockin' in the Free World and
yeah, occasionally.
Yeah, every now and then, yeah.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, if we want to break into the news cycle, these are some of these aren't like terribly old, but they're not. Yeah, it's taken a while for them to actually come up with a story that isn't. This tribe has COVID, and these are the numbers, and that's what it's been for the last few months. So we actually have stories we can actually read, and we thought he was gone, but even Timmy opened his fat mouth. So we can.
Which
Wait, I thought he retired.
I thought he did too, but he apparently still needs to share his opinion.
Which Timmy are we talking
Timmy,
about?
Yeah.
The guy from Indians.com.
Yeah, from Indians.
Indians with a Z.com.
Alrighty then.
He is a old white guy.
My shock.
No, he writes for the. Oh, how did he write? He's got his thing here somewhere. He's the publisher of Native Sun News today.
Oh God.
He's a fellow Neiman. He's a Neiman Fellow at Harvard, class of '91, and the recipient of many journalism awards, including the H.L. Mencken Award. He can be reached at nonegivesashit@gmail.com. But yeah, there was one article we read a few millennia ago he was talking about when they were taking down the Confederate statues, which ones they should replace them with, and it was the worst grammatically penned opinion piece you could have I felt Scribe getting a stroke. And he wasn't even part of the stream. It was that powerful of bad grammar and this is an allegedly award-winning journalist, a guy who apparently knows how to write an opinion down.
What I never understood, and this happened in Georgia and in a couple other places, especially I could give you a good one, Stone Mountain in Georgia. It's got some of the Confederate soldiers up on the mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just put King's face up on there? Even bigger. If you really want to make a statement, don't forget the history, because if you forget it, it's gonna happen again. We're starting to see it still.
Just have Martin on one side and Malcolm on the other side, just staring down at the generals, disapprovingly.
I would rather, as much as I disagree with his politics, like to see what's his name? He was a Georgia senator.
The John Lewis.
John Lewis, yeah. I mean, hell, he marched with King. So I mean, why not? I don't understand the logic. And then if you really want native statues, build them, put them up, make them bigger than what they were.
Ask the wind first.
Oh God.
Or private donation.
That
or that, yeah.
Was it Crazy Horse?
Yeah, the Crazy
Still
Horse.
being built?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they're carving into the mountain.
Hey. I'm just sick of it offends me, therefore we should get rid of it idea. It's just childish. Are we not adults? Really?
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, you asked that question, and you should hear Johnny read the first article he's got pulled up.
Oh God.
Should we start with the?
I was just gonna go down the list that you had in the side chat.
Okay, yeah, we'll start. We can start at the top. This one's gonna make me moderately irritated, so yeah, you can go with that.
Oh, I was waiting for you to read, man. That's part of the humor of this.
Oh God. You build me up, and then I'm just like, I think you're gonna take it for me.
This is your show, Johnny.
Yeah, but I can't
Stop
read.
putting the work on your guests. This sounds like a you problem.
He is the co-host. He knows how to read, so that's why I usually have that up on there.
Stop putting your work on other people, man.
All right, so let's share this then. All right, we are facing a settler colonial crisis, not an indigenous identity crisis. It's the crisis we've never saw coming. It wasn't until recently I heard the term re-indigenization used in academic spaces. I'm familiar with indigenous resurgence and how it's connected to the restoration and reparation of happenings within indigenous communities. Work that often focuses on healing intergenerational, I did say it right, divides caused by Indian residential schools and the 60s scoop, but this idea of re-indigenization was different. Let's see here. It appeared to justify the idea that any person who discovers they have a root indigenous ancestor from anywhere between 150 to 400 years ago must claim indigenous identity and proudly take up spaces deemed to require indigenous perspectives and voices. So you can't just have it, you have to look it. Let's see.
I just want to point out that this is from a Canadian. So, Della, no offense, but
Don't
I'm going to
even
discard
fucking
this
put
out of
that
hand.
Don't even fucking
I mean,
put that on me.
true, facts.
Don't even fucking put that on me.
I'm not putting it on you. I'm just
You are
saying,
fucking putting it on me by association, buddy. The chat's gonna start dogpiling before it
mean,
does. You watch.
that's not necessarily association. That's just geography. Like, I can't help it.
Look, your hate facts are not helping me, and I really don't appreciate that.
Let's see. Part of this process appeared to involve attaching and embedding oneself not within the particular indigenous community or nation where long ago, quote unquote, indigenous ancestor hailed from, but within internal institutional indigenous communities or organizations that fronted as indigenous communities for the purpose of institutional or urban legitimacy. This is a problem. Now, I just got a lot of big words in there that just meant nothing.
I gotta be honest. Like, my eyes started glazing over the first time I heard re-indigenization.
Right. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one.
Yeah, I lost myself at it, so I'm not sure.
It as in the word, or it as in the it in the picture?
It as in the word.
Okay, because I lost that it in the picture. Is that a guy? Is that a girl? I mean, pretty sure that's a Metallica shirt, so that's points. But
No, that's not a Metallica shirt.
oh well, and it's just a very small screen that I'm looking at. So
Yeah.
I'm going to choose to believe that's Metallica and give her the point for it. The point for it.
Cultural white Metallica shirt. Let's see here. Now let's get into where we're going to do exactly what she says is a bad thing. As a citizen of the Anishinaabe, sure, nation.
Anishinaabe?
You know, usually I'm the one that does that, and you're the one that's struggling with those words. So.
I read ahead, and good luck with the next one, though. I'm not even going to try that.
Oh, joy.
And the community leader of the... Oh, shit.
Told you.
Nezadaikong.
Sure. Okay.
Some French word, First Nation.
Ew.
We're not going to ask Della for that one, because we know he
We'll kill you,
isn't French. A redeeming quality. I am the
No,
Queen's...
he's just Canadian.
Look, what did I say about hate facts?
I am the Queen's National Scholar in Indigenous Studies and an associate professor at Professor.
Can I get some Professorshire sauce on my Caesar, please?
I was just gonna say that.
That's awesome.
Oh man,
Love it.
At Queen's University, Ontario, and I have been in academia for a decade now, and previously worked in various capacities serving Indigenous communities. My first full-time job after undergrad was in the political office of former Grand Chief of that word, Stan Beardy. Given that my own family members have continuously held political appointments, I have been listening to, another word, articulate concepts of self-determination, nationhood, and sovereignty for many years.
So, those two paragraphs, I got a lot out of that, actually. I heard Queens way too many times for them to not be talking about New York. So, yeah. And then families continuously held political appointments. So you guys your family kind of sucks at getting the whole self-determination and whatnot, is what I'm hearing too.
Mm.
Been doing it for a while and still hasn't happened.
We haven't changed anything, even though we've been here for years. Let's see here. And indigeneity.
Indigeneity.
That word. Through self-indigenization. See, I can read that word. I can read indigenization. I can't read the other word.
Indigeneity.
Indigeneity. There we go.
There you go.
I said words.
Let's be honest, they're all made up.
Just
Anyway,
well, I
you
mean,
know.
That's true.
every word was made up.
It's all a social construct, right?
Every single word was always made up. Yes.
Yeah, I miss the days back when we used to just wave our hands and point, and people understood.
I mean, it didn't take much it didn't take much to understand what you meant when you're pointing at a thrusting pelvis.
Just grunts and hand gestures. Yep.
Grunts and hinge. Oh my god.
Exactly. You're describing my dating routine.
It is one of the most romantic languages out there.
I mean, it's the most effective, that's for sure.
Oh man!
I don't need to learn another language.
I want to address the inherent problems with the indigeneity. Through self-indigenization or re-indigenization. Oh, there's another one. There's a connection between self-indigenation. She really fucking likes that word.
That's what I was just gonna say. I'm like, to be in your defense, they're using that word way too much. It's
a new word that they just made up, and they want to make sure everyone gets it to stick.
Well, I can give it to stick, all right.
Continue, Johnny.
Let's see here. Where did I leave off? Because there's so many places where it says self-indigenization. I can actually...
You left off
based on ancestry. Based on ancestry and settler colonial violence that is conveniently being ignored in our public institutions.
All right. Mining the archive for biological traces of nativeness follows the same settler colonial, possessive, and
extractivist.
Well, I got thrown off by the fact that there isn't a second comma there. Logic of mining indigenous lands. Both indigenous lands and identities are positioned as resources that people are entitled to and claim and own.
I mean, considering she's a Queen's National Scholar and she's teaching at Queen's University, you'd figure she'd be cool with the Oxford comma, but yeah, I can see why that would trip you up, Johnny.
Well, and the run-on sentence. Syntax, my only weakness. Let's see. Dakota.
I mean, if you were expecting grammatical perfection from this, then I might direct you to the name of the website.
Well, I mean, if Timmy can't, put a comma in a list, I don't expect anyone else to. And that fucker's won awards, so I don't know. Let's see here. Both indigenous lands and identities are positioned as resources that people are entitled to claim and own. Dakota scholar Kim Tallbear has shown how this practice links to Eurocentric concepts of identity that privilege individualism and inherent property. You know what that stems from? And I believe all four of us, being mixed, can attest to this. When we get told, we tell people like, "Oh yeah, we're part native."
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not.
Not enough.
You're either not or you're not enough. Like, yeah, it's like the skin test.
Mm-hmm.
I have quite a few good friends who are native, and they are like darkly native, and they're still mixed, which is even funnier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like that. You got that just with me and my siblings. Like the middle sister, she looks the most, native, and then the little sister, the least. And me, it's dependent on how much I'm willing to go outside at any given time.
Yeah, that's pretty much mine.
My new favorite thing to do when people when people react that way after I'm like, oh yeah, I'm part native. Oh really? No, you're not. It's like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not out there making a cringy video having a drink with someone to prove my nativeness. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that having native lineage in your bloodline makes you part native.
Yeah.
See, I do the Chappelle test, where just ball up a piece of trash and throw it on the ground, and if they don't look at me and just say "fuck you," they don't count.
Nice.
And then I would fail because it's not my business. I'm too Canadian for that shit.
Well, no, don't expect like the single tear, just that look like really fuck you, man.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of, well played on the caption contest from yesterday.
Oh yes.
That was me barely paying attention. I ran out of time because I was trying to like go back and forth between that and Monkey Stream.
Yeah.
And like I put that in there like right before Frost was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give it 2 more seconds." It's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I think this is pretty much just.
This lady's complaining about people who are, trying to, I guess, reclaim their indigenous identities or whatever.
Oh my fuck! Everything is indigenized of some sort. It's like indigenization, re-indigenization, indigeneity. Fucking indigene the fuck off.
Now, Della,
What?
History only goes back 300-400 years tops ever.
No, history only goes back about 6 years, if my math is correct.
No, that's possible. It's on Twitter.
Right?
Well, no, I think this person's complaining about something that's an obvious outcome based on the way our society's going. When you have a bunch of groups complaining about, marginalization, banding together under, stuff like, people of color and whatnot.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You're going to have, that one group that is, considered not marginalized rushing to, cling to any identity they can so they can be part of the marginalized. How many jokes have we made about Elizabeth Warren claiming to be Indian?
Well, I mean,
it's been going on for a good long while. It's just
considering I just made one, yeah.
It's been going on for a good long while. It's just now it's even more pronounced.
Cynic in the chat, didgeridoo. Didgeridoo not start. Oh, that's a good one.
Man.
That's more for Terry, isn't it?
Well, I mean, Cynic's also Aussie.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Oh, cool.
there you go.
But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the main thrust that I'm getting from this article. Is she's complaining about the quarters and the 1/8 and the 16ths and so on and so forth. Getting it back in touch with their native roots because they weren't there from the beginning. Yada
they don't
yada.
want us because we're too quote unquote westernized or whatever. Like, fuck off.
We are often accused of being caught up in divisive blood quantum requirements. The irony, of course, is that I have yet to hear any indigenous critic of extravas. What the hell is this word? Extractivist.
Oh, God.
Gosh,
Yeah.
they're all over the place with these words. Even mention Indian status or blood quantum in their arguments.
Ugh.
The only ones who seem obsessed with native blood are those whose entire claim to indigeneity is based on them locating someone in their genetic or ancestral history. Because they're told that they don't exist.
It's not just them, too. It's the people fucking saying that they don't exist. I wouldn't be looking into it if it wasn't fucking people like that.
I have not heard anyone use that. Although, that's probably a good one. Mr. Yes says, a.k.a. apples. In other words, she hates apples.
Fair. Oh my gosh.
Which means I'm going to give the next one to you just because.
Okay.
Just for the fact that it's the article.
I'm not even gonna bother trying to pronounce anybody's name or tribe right.
It's the nice follow up to the self-indigenization one there.
Self-proclaimed auntie.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see if I can bring this up on the screen here. All right, so yeah, self-proclaimed auntie admits being wrong about tribal affiliations.
Mohawk and Lakota no more for social media star. This was posted on the 24th by Asia Goyo for IndiansWithAZ.com.
Sad.
Let's see, that's the great.
Recognize that if you call an actual Native American Indian, they get really fucking offended. But okay.
I've lived in Oklahoma my whole life. None of the Indians I know have gotten offended by it.
Well, right? I'm just. If you do it if you go out to Arizona, Texas area and actually talk with some of the ones who lived on a reserve their whole life, they do get a little pissy because we're not like, I'm not Indian.
I mean, according to the Supreme Court, I live on an Indian reservation.
I guess it just depends on certain areas and certain people.
Lived on one my whole life,
but I'm just
yeah. No, yeah.
These
anyway,
touchy-feely fuckers. Just
there's always going to be someone offended at something if they can get away with it.
Well,
absolutely.
There again, I'm one of the civilized ones, so.
Wait. I was going to make a...
Yeah,
never mind.
We all can't be click-clacks.
A social media figure who built a following by creating, quote, native content has scrubbed references to her supposed tribal affiliation after admitting that she made a mistake in doing so. No. Corinne Pereira amassed over 100,000 followers on TikTok and more than 40,000 on Instagram, with posts connected to her claimed Lakota and Mohawk identities. She purported to educate her audience about issues facing American Indians, often asking for monetary contributions for content about colonization, assimilation, and cultural appropriation. But after Native people asked questions about her background, Pereira removed Lakota and Mohawk from her TikTok biography, which had become her largest platform. She also hid her account on Instagram, making it inaccessible to the general public, despite having used it in the past to solicit donations and drum up business for her indigenous-owned consulting firm. And in a public post on Facebook last week, Pereira admitted she was wrong to have claimed affiliation with sovereign tribal nations to which she does not belong. She blamed the mistake on missteps her family made while researching the genealogy of one of my grandfathers. It's always a grandfather. You notice that?
Yeah.
So wait,
down here it's like my grandfather was, full blood Cherokee. Yeah, sure. You got papers? No? Shut up.
Okay, never mind.
And in a public post on Facebook last week, Pereira admitted she was wrong to have claimed affiliation. Oh, I already read that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was young and learning about how to step into indigenous community in the Bay Area. That explains it. And claimed my nations without having enrollment. This was a mistake, Pereira wrote on January 19 from an account where she used the name Corinne Greycloud.
You don't say.
I should have been more open and honest about not being enrolled and being a descendant, Pereira added. I'm not reading all of that.
Yeah, no. It's her making excuses.
Saying she wasn't perfect, Pereira acknowledged placing herself and others who have supported her in an awkward position. Yeah, they got fleeced. After tying her career to Native issues and Native life, she said she's going to step back from her very public, though largely self-designated, auntie persona.
Now, for those of you who don't know what an auntie is,
Right.
like, it's not really the most positive name you can give yourself.
Yeah, no.
Unless you like being a whore.
Sounds like she fucking watched Letterkenny, got the wrong idea, and said, "You know what? Tennis is cool. I want to be tennis."
Oh.
Being in the work of education and training, it was never my intention to take space from someone in the work who was enrolled, but to use every connection I have to help those around me, she wrote in the post. The explanation, however, wasn't satisfactory for those reading it, in particular, Native women. Woman lies about being Native, Who's most effective? Native women. Many reacted negatively to Pereira's statement, with some noting that her platform's popularity was tied to her views on sensitive issues such as the crisis of missing and murdered indigenous people, and the losses suffered during the genocidal Indian boarding school era. Either one of you guys want to comment on either of those?
You mean the mass graves that actually weren't mass graves?
Yeah, those.
So, is this more Canadian shit? I thought she was in San Francisco.
I mean, could be.
It all stretches to Canada. I mean,
Fuck off.
Those damn Canadians.
You have
You're
an
not
enormous...
wrong, but fuck off.
You have an enormous following and a reach many of us do not have. So I appreciate the education and elevation you have created with your online audience. A woman from the Sioux tribe wrote on the public post. I told you I wasn't even going to try.
Yeah, so you might as well just
Look tribe. Look tribe.
The gobble gobble tribe.
The turkey tribe. The Thanksgiving tribe.
But it's hard not to feel like you appropriated from our mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers, and that hurts me, the person said. I appreciate what you're doing, but it hurts me, so don't do it.
Stop
making excuses.
Stop, no, don't appropriate me there.
I appreciate you telling me this, but it doesn't make me look good, so I want you to stop.
Stop making excuses, wrote another woman who has founded and led activist groups in Indian country. You lied, and we don't need you to talk your way out of it. Just say sorry and walk away from your social media status and profits that were gained through identity theft.
Thank you.
Who?
Who what?
This doesn't tell us shit. An activist.
What?
An activist said stop making excuses. Like,
Well, I mean, to be fair, they're an activist. If we told you the name, would you really know who it was?
No, but it would pique interest in people who actually would look.
Don't matter.
Yeah, pretty much.
You see why they didn't name them then now, right?
Oh, look, Spotify.
Hey, look, there we go.
Pereira's story about her supposed tribal affiliation has shifted over the years, much like the name she has used in public. She currently goes by Corinne Greycloud, having recently married Greg Greycloud, who is a citizen of the Crow Creek Sioux tribe. My God.
She put a little native in her.
Oh, she got a little bandit going.
This sounds like 3 different tribes mushed together. The couple makes their home on the Rosebud Sioux Reservation in South Dakota. But for her indigenous-owned business, Pereira has used the Rice surname, apparently in an attempt to legitimize her tribal claims. One citizen of the St. Regis Mohawk tribe told Indians with a Z.com
Ted.
that the. I'm sorry, when did you get so picky about the Z?
He's always done that.
When did you start paying attention?
Just now.
Had a girl.
That the name was chosen because of its prominence among Mohawk people in the state of New York and in Canada. Damn Canadians.
Damn
A second Mohawk citizen made the same assertion in a social media post that questioned Pereira's tribal affiliation. Indeed, Pereira has long been claiming that her grandfather was Mohawk. She identified herself as Lakota and Mohawk in a first-person essay published in the Huffington Post. Yeah, because they fact-check that stuff. Ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday in November 2018. My grandfather moved to California from Mohawk territory in the 1950s after he served in Korea, and we have all lived in Sunnyvale ever since. Pereira wrote of the Silicon Valley city known for its high technology wealth. Oh, so she's a rich bitch too. Okay. The piece carried a byline of Corinne. I'm not even going to bother pronouncing that. Ostrich being the surname of her husband at the time. How many husbands has she had? Holy shit.
Too many.
Well, according to Vosh, they all just orgied together.
They rotated
Gross.
them. They rotated
Yeah, because
and share on weekends.
That's not how.
when I
That's not
when
how.
I want to know how people got down pre-colonial times, I'm gonna go ask Bosch.
Right.
Yeah, that dwarvish man bun looking thing.
And if I can't get a hold of him, I'll ask Hassan.
Oh gosh.
Yet well before the HuffPo personal essay, Peralta was making a name for herself among Native people who live in Northern California. She appeared on Native Voice TV in July 2017 and was very clear about her background. It was a far cry from the uncertainty she portrayed in her more recent Facebook post about her family's research journey. God, I am Turkey, Lakota, and Blackfoot, but I grew up here in Sunnyvale, Bay Area of California, she said when asked by the host of Native Voice TV for her to detail her tribal affiliation. A photo of Pereira wearing what was described as a jingle dress is then shown on screen. She says she wore the native regalia to a Heritage Day presentation at a school where she was employed. According to public records, she worked for the Sunnyvale School District at the time. So she was dressing up to...
Jesus Christ.
Like, this reminds me of the time I had a principal in school told us we were going to have a special guest, come talk to them, like, from Africa. And, like, a couple minutes later, he just comes out in, like, one of those fucking shirts. Like, apparently he went and done some missionary work in Africa, and, like, he was going to talk to us about that. Like, all right, that's kind of false advertising, but,
Yeah, they come back in a Dikembe.
Yeah,
And the hat. And the hat.
He walked off the stage in like a suit and tie, and he comes back with the fucking shirt and some sandals. When asked about the origins of her supposed Lakota family, Pereira was just as confident with her answer. From Pine Ridge, she quickly replied, referring to the Pine Ridge Reservation, the home of the whatever Sioux tribe. She did not elaborate on the Blackfoot affiliation she was claiming, nor did the Native Voice TV host inquire. During the Native Voice TV show, have any of you guys ever heard of Native Voice TV? That must just be like a California thing, huh?
Probably.
It's a YouTube thing up here. I don't know if it's an actual TV thing.
Oh. Well, that's also false advertising. Where did she learn it? She got it from watching Native Voice TV on YouTube.
I got it from watching you!
Pereira shared her experiences of working with powwows.com. Johnny!
What?
We're going to have to do like powwows with a Z.com. Apparently powwows is taken.
Zed. I knew it was coming. We're gonna have to preface this.
I will stand by the Z. Thank you very much.
We'll have to do this out. Indians with a Z or Z for our slaves.
For the people that still have the queen on their money, yeah.
Yeah.
She has been writing for the popular website since at least 2014, according to an episode of the Real Talk podcast that aired in early February 2019. How much longer does this go? My God. Are they going to detail every lie she told, like on every platform, every date? Because I still got some scrolling to do, and I'm bored already.
Dude,
she lied about being Indian. Okay.
No, I read the most of it, and it's actually a lot of just fluff on how, well, she did this, and this is her past, and this is what we figured out. If this were anyone else, it would have been like, roast the bitch.
But yeah, I'm already bored. Like, you know, she's not the Indian she's claiming to be, apparently.
Yeah.
Surprising.
So, I'm done. I'm not reading any more of that crap. She bores me. You want to take the next one?
Let's see here. Do you guys know much about the American Indian movement?
Hashtag with Arizona, Johnny? What's going on in Arizona, dude?
Well, it's not Arizona. It's AZ. I like to put capitals between my words. So,
Especially the Z.
You could have just put 2 E's at the end of it, and then people would have got it. But
yeah, I suppose I could have done that.
But you know, that would just make sense. So I can see why you didn't.
Well, then I'd wonder why Johnny's pronouncing things all German-like.
The Germans.
Well, I mean, I blame that article with all the indigenous verities.
No,
I don't have anyone fucking confused.
Here's one. How much of the United States has a native is the native population?
I don't know about the 2020 census, but like 2010 is like roughly 1% of the U.S. population.
Too much, yet not enough
So,
at the same time.
3.3 million-ish.
Okay. Let's see here. Maybe it's just how I read the article, but it could be something that it's more specific. Pima County works to reduce overrepresentation of Native Americans in its jails.
So this is, Arizona.
So 1% of the population.
Well, again, that's
Arizona.
not necessarily. Well, like in Oklahoma, the percentage was like 8% Native. 8% of the 3 million people living in Oklahoma. So it's not, across the board, every state 1%. It's concentration could be much higher.
Yeah.
Especially in like Arizona, New Mexico, that kind of thing.
Let's see, where is this even? It's Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep.
Let's take a look here. Not a lot of help. Wikipedia.
I'm sorry, you have a question and you went to Wikipedia?
That's the first thing that popped up. I didn't really care.
I would have just, here, you want me to try to find the racial breakdown of Pima County, Arizona?
Yeah, if you can.
Why don't we just use this picture as an example?
It's more effort that I'm looking to put in there. Let's see here. Celso Villegas knows the criminal justice system well. His daughter has battled a drug addiction for years, and for the past decade, he has cared for his grandchildren, including 2 grandsons who have been incarcerated. But as an American Indian, Villegas and his family face additional hurdles. We were conquered and we were put on reservations. Says Villegas, executive director of the water resources for the Tohono O'odham Nation. So I think our biggest problem is for young men and women is that we are stripped from our social development.
According to census.gov, quick facts of Pima County, American Indian and Alaska Native alone account for 4.4% of the population.
Okay.
And that's not counting there's like 3% that count themselves as two or more races, so that's a potential,
With a margin of error of 0.5%, we'll say.
So, might as well say 4.5% of the population in Pima County is Indian.
Let's see here. Villegas grandsons are part of a disproportionately large group of American Indians held in Arizona jails. Data from this Safety and Justice Challenge, which is funded by John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, shows that Native Americans are 1.8 times as likely as white Americans to be booked in Pima County Jail. 4% doing 50%. Is that how that goes?
Well, I mean, I just closed that fact sheet, but the white population of Pima County was like 84%. So
everyone,
I don't know, man.
Every native is being arrested before every.
It's saying that 4% is almost twice as likely to be booked into the county jail as 84%.
Let's see here. And how many of those are being told that they aren't natives? Let's see. Racial bias and racial bias. Racial bias and racial bias is the same thing.
Compounded by poverty or economic struggle.
Yeah, I can see that then, I guess. Really makes certain communities more vulnerable to getting involved and trapped up in the criminal legal system. Or better yet, don't commit the crime.
I think back to Jim Carrey and Liar Liar right now. Quit breaking the law, asshole!
Let's see here. Said Valena Beatty, law professor at the Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law at Arizona State University. Villegas blames colonization for the situation Native Americans are facing today.
I blame booze more often than not.
I blame the parents.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about like just Indians straight up, then
well, yeah.
I mean, one does not necessarily preclude the other, but more often than not, the immediate cause is booze.
Let's see here. We were conquered.
We were conquered.
Well, if you're gonna do it, then do it. Like,
well, no, I was just trying to tell you where we were because
I was on it moderately. Moderately.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Well, get after it.
Where were we again? No, I'm just kidding. We were conquered and put on reservations, isolated, he said. So I think our biggest problem for young men and women is we were stripped from our social development. I think I already read that one.
Yes, you did.
Way to put me back, Camel. Even though that's where I thought we were anyway. But,
well, to be fair, that is where we were. That is where we were, but you did read it already, but that is where we were. He just put it there again.
Oh. Why are you...
Every year.
Yeah, do you just want to read it?
Pitter patter.
Since you're already there?
I mean, every year in the United States, more than 10 million people are jailed, according to data from the U.S. Department of Justice. The Safety and Justice Institute says about 75% of them are behind bars for nonviolent offenses related to traffic, property, drug, or public order offenses. And since 2000, the Native American jail population nationwide is up 85%, according to the Prison Policy Initiative. I mean, so they're trying to say that one of the only areas we're overrepresented in is crime. I kind of believe it. The vast majority of people in jail are awaiting trial, meaning they haven't been convicted of any crime, and jail time for any reason can have a cascading effect. Even 3 days of being in jail can mean you lose your job, Beatty said. That can mean you're abandoning your children legally, so your custody of your children could be in question. Danny Ortega, a Phoenix attorney who specializes in civil rights, said the goal should be to keep people out of jail. Because we all know that when you keep people in jail, particularly poor people, it really breaks down the structure of the community and of the family, he said. There's just a recycling of people in prisons and jails. With a parent behind bars, he said, then those children, because of poverty, begin to deal with the adversity that their parents dealt with. Then they become involved in the same activity to survive, and it's also a survival issue. That's why Pima County in 2016 started to address the drivers of its jail population with financial support from the MacArthur Foundation's Safety and Justice Challenge. So I should go break the law in Pima County and see if I can get some foundation to give me money.
Well, and I understand where the thought is, but it's not just the fact that it's, there's the poverty issue. It's the fact that it's on reservations.
Well, let's go back to non-violent. 75% of people behind bars, so 7.5 million out of 10 million people in jail, are behind bars for non-violent offenses related to traffic, property, drug, or public order offenses. Traffic, property, drug, or public order offenses. It's the last two that really, or three really that could probably get my attention the most. And how all three of those things could be linked. That could be like one fucking person, on drugs, causing a public disturbance by trashing somebody's property. That's one call.
Everyone knows who that guy is. That's Billy Redhawk.
Shit, see, I lost where we were after that.
But no, like I was saying though, this guy's it's white people's fault. Granted, it's not a good start, but you have what you have on the reservation. Work to improve life on the reservation. Is it that fucking hard? Well, clearly yes, but it's just pointing the finger to be like I'm the victim here, and it's really fucking stupid.
Okay, I found where it was. Our main strategies at that point were to reduce the jail population safely without impact to community safety, said Kate Vesley, the Director of Justice Services for Pima County. The Director of Justice Services. That sounds like a title that's completely made up. Why do they need you to do that? Why can't somebody else do that? Why do you have the job you have, And also to reduce racial and ethnic disparities at disproportionality and the justice system.
It's all part of that self-indigenization.
The county has implemented such solutions as pretrial behavioral health diversion programs and warrant resolution. The measures have reduced the number of incarcerated and addressed some racial concerns, officials say. In 2014, the average daily jail population was 2,136. Today, it's about 1,700 inmates. It had gotten down last year into the 1,300s, which was a bit of a historic low because of COVID. And it had crept back up since then, Pima County Attorney Laura Conover says. The criminal justice system has been inherently racially and ethnically disparate, if not intentionally focused on a punitive way upon racial and ethnic minorities, she said. I'm taking it. This is. Oh yeah, that's okay. So that's the attorney lady. When we are honest about that, then we make sure our policies going forward address that. One way is through the warrant resolution program, in which county probation officers try to persuade certain offenders who have skipped court dates to surrender without the threat of jail time for failure to appear. So you didn't show up, so we're going to track you down and ask you to show up, but we're not going to send you to jail. That sound about right to you guys?
Pretty much.
These days.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking like if you agreed with it. I was just like, that sounds like what in my head, like that sounds like what's going on. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you were asking.
These are the people that seem to be their own worst enemy. Yeah, which is why they end up in jail.
Yep.
Said David Sanders, the county's chief probation officer. They're not necessarily a serious threat to public safety, and if they can be re-engaged in treatment and probation supervision, they're much better off than living in the shadows with a felony warrant outstanding, not able to work or able to participate in normal events in the community. Okay, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, how many chances do you give somebody? You know, they're skipping their court dates and whatnot. As the executive director of water resources for the Tohono O'odham, can use his influence to facilitate a relationship between the tribe and Pima County. He's a member of the Safety and Justice Challenge and works on a variety of initiatives, including warrant resolution. I encourage our tribal members, the Pascua Yaqui, and indigenous people that I know that have warrants, he said. When I see them, I tell them, you need to go to Pima County and tell them you want to clear up your own failure to appear warrants. Yeah, you know, I just see him out on the streets like, hey, man, don't you got a warrant? Go get that taken care of. Come on, man. Go on.
It's like Black Gallagher. I got warrants!
Still, Pima County has a long way to go in addressing racial disparities.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We're only now beginning to dig into the systemic impact that over-policing and over-incarceration have had on communities of color, Vesley said. The county tracks racial inequity at various steps in the criminal process. For example, the 2020 Pima County Probation Annual Report shows Native Americans make up 4.4% of the county census rate and probation population, but they represent 6.3% of probation revocations. We've never looked at it race, and the MacArthur Grant kind of opened our eyes to that, Sanders said. Now the probation department publishes racial and ethnic disparities each year. In theory, our revocation rate should not be any higher than our census rate, and that's our goal, he said. But change can't come soon enough for Villegas. There's very few people out in our nation that are really advocates for change, and I'm one of those people that they want to advocate for change because they are community members, he said. That's too many words for the sentiment he was trying to get across. And we do not need them to come back home. And we do need them to come back home. There are 9.7 million of us left. Every one of us counts. By 2030, we may not have that number. 9.7 million? What? Is he like trying to count like all Indians?
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, so the Indians make up 4.4% of the census population, and they make up 6.3% of probation revocations. That's what the story's driving at. That is below my line, to steal a phrase from that Warriors owner. I really don't care about there being a disparity of less than 2%.
Right.
Yeah, and come on. Like, well, if they hadn't put us here, we wouldn't have this problem to begin with. It's like...
You put yourself there.
Would we, though? Like, would you still not be there if, things were going the way they went. Like,
I just don't see 2% being a substantial enough, number.
Right.
Like if it was like 20% or something like that, like if they were, 5 times as likely to get their probation, revoked as they are part of the population. Okay,
Yeah, that does all that. Like, there's no further explanation than just that the percentages. So all that says to me is it just says, okay, so most of the people who get their fucking probation point actually go through with it, but a small but not all of them can make it through the probation. Okay, fine. That's all that says to me. Fuck off. There's no
and I
racial
think
issue here.
I think Pima County, like they had like just under 1 million people, according to the census.gov, like 900 some odd thousand. So it's not like we're talking about a ton of people in Pima County Jail either.
I don't know. It just seems like a lot of finger pointing and just. I mean, I can't say res life is a thing because I haven't spent all but a year on one. Like, but I have friends who have moved off the reservations, and they've told me that they get shit because they have jobs that are off the reservation. They have houses that are off the reservation. And when they go back to visit their families, they're just, one of my friends have been threatened several times. You better not, bring back white babies or some shit like that.
Well, to close out that article, I again feel it necessary to quote Fletcher Reed and say, "Quit breaking the law, asshole."
Mm-hmm.
Don't break the law, you don't have probation. Don't break the law again, you don't get your probation revoked. Simple math.
Well, and yeah, like, why are you running? Like, it's... My God. Okay.
I mean, we are Kyler, but still.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. We are that important.
So how are things on your end there, Simius?
Oh, not bad. I'm just waiting to get a phone call because I know it's going to happen.
All right. How's your wife doing, by the way?
She's better. She's still got the nasty migraines, but she's a lot better than what she was.
Nice.
How are you guys?
I spent the last couple weeks hocking up along, but I'm feeling better now. Good.
Nana Camel still doing good?
She's my sister's been actually pulling some weight, taking care of her while I've been down with whatever it is that I've had. I think it's just a respiratory, But
Cough.
I didn't get the cough until this week. I'd already gotten rid of all the other shit. Like, this is just leftover. But yeah, so the sister's been taking care of Nana Camel, and I've been just resting and recuperating. That's why I missed Minions the other night when you wanted me to answer my phone.
Yeah.
I told you, dude, the phone I've got my volume turned all the way up, and somebody calls or texts, I get that notification, but Discord, Twitter, nothing's been coming through, like sound wise at least. So I was already asleep by the time you were trying to get my attention. Just been drinking plenty of fluids and watching reruns on like Hulu and stuff.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. All right.
I mean, I don't do live cable anymore, so like I can't go back and watch Price is Right. And I mean, does Drew Carey still hosting that anyway?
I believe so.
Likely.
I stopped paying attention when Bob left, man.
So have a lot of people.
I mean, it's the same thing with like Jeopardy, dude. You know, no Alex, no watch.
Well, especially when they can't make up their mind who they want to have fucking hosting anyway.
Oof.
True.
Okay.
I don't care about Ken Jennings or Blossom, either one. So.
Okay, Kyler, I will have you know, I could have given two shits about reservation dogs. Since I have been told that because I don't live the life, I don't understand the jokes. That show can go fuck itself.
And as a resident of Oklahoma, not even just being an engine, but living here, that show can go fuck itself. You know, it offends me on two levels. You know, the Indian and Oklahoma.
No, like
the only credit I give them for that is like they actually did film in Oklahoma. But yeah.
No, I didn't know that. I know that like when they were doing Longmire, they did that in New Mexico.
Yeah, they filmed that reservation dog show up around Tulsa. Yeah. Once you get outside of the Tulsa metro area, it is pretty well farmland and whatnot. It's not a very long drive from downtown Tulsa to middle of a cow field.
Yeah,
I stopped watching Reservation Dogs at like episode 4, I think.
That's much later than I did.
Like there's actually like one decent episode like with the old Indian dude and the weed. That was. And then again, I could just be biased because I smoke pot. That could be the only. That could have just been stoner humor making me laugh. Well, I don't know.
And I do find it funny that one of the arguments they have there is they want to erase stereotypes with natives and native actors, and that's all they fucking do is stereotypes. Like you can't be against it and write one at the same time. That doesn't. You can't say
Mr.
that.
Yes, they marketed it that way, like before the first episode. They also marketed it as like a comedy too, so it did not live up to any kind of expectations. I was hoping that it would have been good,
Well,
but
see,
4 episodes. That's all I could give it.
The only part that I joked about was the IHS part.
Yeah, it was like episode.
The first episode.
2? Oh yeah, first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was them like talking to the IHS lady, and then she's just like, "How long will it be?" And she just looks back like, "You fucking kidding me?" Like,
you see all the people sitting here after them, and then a little bit longer for asking me that question.
Appropriate.
And I think that goes mostly with any clinic, but yeah, like that was the part that I thought that was actually funny in that show. In that show, at least in as far as the first episode goes.
Well, one of the guys in college says, "What do you expect from Hollywood? They're a bunch of racist nonsense." One of the guys who is like the co-creator of that show is actually an Indian from Oklahoma. So I guess that was just a little kind of.
Yeah, the other one is the Kiwi.
The rock dude from Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
Korg.
Tahiki.
So, do you wanna read these other 2 articles? Because I'm about read out.
I'm gonna jump ship for something I just popped up on my trending.
Oh, okay. So you're doing what I normally do. Okay.
Well, that's good because I didn't pack a lunch for these fucking articles.
I've got IMDb up.
Well, we might need it. Marvel stars like Simu Liu and appeared to call out Evangeline Lilly for attending DC anti-vaccination rally.
You know, I saw this on the trending earlier, and I was so happy to ignore it. But you know what? Here we go.
Honestly, I could care less either way. Like I don't care when a bunch of celebrities are. I didn't like hearing them, talking about like singing Imagine and whatnot at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh,
I don't care about their care about their opinions now.
Freaking cringe.
Oh, that was, and then she's like, "Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that." Look, gee, now you see it. You should carry at least one person with you. One pour. Carry that pour with you.
Where's my pour? How am I supposed to react to this?
Has anyone seen my peasant? Where's my peasant? Butler, fetch me my peasant. I want to go through. I want to go first.
Butler, have the chauffeur fetch me my peasant from the airport.
Bring me my purse.
I need to go through for a stroll through town, and I want my peasant to accessorize my outfit. Please.
Please tell me how to pour. Oh my god.
So yes, so she went to an anti-mandate rally.
Yeah,
apparently.
And then they're all
and posted on Twitter and everything.
Yeah,
like she posted on Twitter about it. Oh yeah, how brave!
And it's pretty much like I'm not with vaccine mandates, like any logical person.
Wasn't there another Marvel actress, the chick from Black Panther? Wasn't she also like anti? Mandates and whatnot.
That's a good question. Let me look it up.
Oh yeah.
The sister.
Yeah.
Shiki.
Suri,
what?
I think.
Was it
right?
Shiki or
Suri?
It was someone.
It was a person. Yes. Who is this creepy fuck? I've seen him before. Why is his mug in this article?
He is, I guess
he lives in a van down by the river.
He's backing her on it, and that's the Russian guy that doesn't have the Russian accent.
Yeah, he's that creepy.
Those glasses do nothing for you, sir. That was
those glasses look like a bad
choice.
Photoshop.
that was a poor decision.
I need to look smart, and I failed.
You're Asian. How much smarter do you need to look?
Well, I mean,
should I get you an abacus?
Have you heard him talk?
Should I get you an abacus?
Have you heard that dude give any interviews about Shang-Chi?
No.
He pretty much forgot about like Bruce Lee being a thing, so he needs to look as smart as he can for when he opens his mouth.
And I was actually
starts occurring a deficit.
He should just not open his mouth.
There is a podcast that I listened to because they were talking about the whole Aquafina and the black scent thing. And they're like, that's just how she talks. And I'm like, I've heard this chick do interviews. That's not how she talks.
It always takes me a second to remember that there's somebody dumb enough to want to go by Aquafina. Because every time someone mentions, and which is very, very rarely the case, but anytime somebody mentions this person, I automatically think of bottled water, and it takes me just a couple of seconds. Like, oh, you're talking about a person. That's right.
Yeah, because I'm just like, what does the company have to do with, oh, wait.
Like, is it spelled like the water, or is it spelled retarded? Which one are we talking about?
The one that I want to put around my mouth, or the
yes.
No, it's just a lot of virtue signaling for Hollywood. Really, is all that is.
So we started off with Neil Young, and now we got Evangeline Lilly.
Yep.
That's a good bookends
And
right there.
I gotta tell you, I went to a Comic-Con where she was at, and she is way hotter in person.
Oh yeah.
Well, it should have to be.
Like, no, I mean, she's hot in a picture and in a movie, but in person, ooh boy.
Well, I mean, the picture never does the justice.
Well, that's true.
That's what I meant. So I don't know what you were going on, but okay.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I found like there are very few of the celebrities I can actually follow on like Twitter or whatever. Like follow like James Woods and Nick Searcy. They just crack me up. If they weren't funnier, I mean, if they weren't funny, I probably wouldn't pay attention to them either. Even though they are, conservatives or whatever.
Hmm.
I thought it was funny watching Nick Searcy do like those videos from like his walks around in his neighborhood in California. All the people with like masks on and whatnot. He's just sitting there just talking to his phone.
I'm so ready for COVID to be over. Oh my god.
I mean,
Everyone is, dude. Come off it.
Oh no, I know. Just
honestly,
being in the medical field and seeing people freak,
Yeah.
it drives me crazy. Even friends in the medical field are freaking. I'm like, chill the fuck out. It's gonna be okay.
You know what? I'm so ready for COVID to be over so I can stop hearing people say, I'm so ready for COVID to be over.
I'm going to tweet that at you every fucking day now.
Because it's not like I don't agree with them. But, it's been going on for fucking over 2 years now. You think you think it still needs to be said at this point? Come off it. Fuck. We know.
I think it's one of those things like where I live, yeah, sure, healthcare people, they're still very much concerned by it, but most people out in the world don't seem to give a shit. Like I go grocery shopping or whatever, maybe one in 10 are wearing a mask at this point.
Well, and that's what made me think is I was standing in a group at the grocery store, and there was at least one or two people in that group who were just eyeballing other people. Like, I wonder if that motherfucker's vaccinated. And I'm just like, if you go TikTok, trending bullshit crazy on here, we are going to beat you.
And yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome, Della.
Like honestly, I kind of enjoy. I've kind of enjoyed the pandemic for the most part. Just being a natural kind of hermit, kind of like Terry. My life didn't change all that much aside from taking care of Nana. And now, like even if I have just my mild smoker's cough, like people get the fuck away from me. It's great, They give me way more than 6 feet if I want to, clear my throat.
Oh no! When it started, I was still an appliance salesman, and I think it was May after it started up, and I just picked up like a spring cough, and and like we'd have a whole bunch of people come around, and like I would just me and my coworker would be talking. And then, like, because I'm asthmatic, so when I get a cold, it's kind of hard to breathe, of course, because the cold being what it is, and like people are just like, I'm gonna buy this fridge here, and I'm just like, they hear me like just hacking up a little bit, and they're like, yeah, we'll come back later.
My favorite is I was at a grocery store picking up some food, and I went to take a swig of my Coke and aspirated. It's like parting the Red Sea.
That'd be like great to be first. That'd be a great trick to get first in line for like a video game or concert tickets or something like that. Just fucking show up right like a minute before they go on sale and just start hacking up a lung.
That's why everyone does their ticket buying online. Everyone does their ticket buy online for that very reason, Della.
You know what?
No. Go to the nearest micro center to buy you a GPU, and just wait in line. Try to get the front, and then just start coughing when the new 4060 comes out.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'd probably be coughing because I'd have to sell a lung to afford a new.
I know, right?
At this point.
I couldn't sell my lung, but I'll sell a lung for it.
Yeah, mine are fairly well used as well. I probably wouldn't want one of them. But I mean, I still got 2 kidneys, you know.
There you go. Technically,
Work with what you got.
one.
There you go.
See if I can find some rube to buy like an appendix or something. Yeah.
I'll trade you a kidney for a 3080. Come on.
I'm not doing anything with this gallbladder. Go ahead, man.
Right.
Now I
one of these. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say no, when my fiance at the time, she was looking into diabetes because my youngest, and I mentioned, I'm like, is there any way, because the pancreas is shot, like it's gone with diabetics, and so I was like, oh, is there any way to give him mine? And she's like, I already looked into it. Doctor said that if you did that, there would just be 2 people with diabetes then, not just one. Because even if you gave it to him, it would work, and then it would die. Like it was, there's no.
Ouch.
Yeah, there's no.
There for a while, they were actually trying to work on one, like a synthetic.
Yeah, I recall hearing about that some time ago, like like grown in a lab pancreas or whatever.
Yeah. No, if they could get that would be awesome.
Well, they've got a device, but it kind of resembles like a port. Or a port with like a weird, I have no idea, distributing device maybe? I don't know. It's been a while since I looked at medical stuff, like implants.
I'm just looking forward to like when I get the type 2 at this point. Yeah, it's not an if, it's a when.
A weird thing to look forward to, but yeah.
Well, I mean, they got all this new shit coming out, man. It's kind of like that old Bill Hicks bit about being a smoker. It's like going to Sharper Image, man. Got a whole bunch of stuff waiting on me.
I'm just waiting for them to get the cybernetics done. That way I can get an actual laser eye surgery.
I'm just wondering if I can hold out until they perfect the synthetic pancreas,
It looks interesting, that's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, you guys can have like the robot eyes and the neural links and whatnot. Just give me something that can process sugar.
Well, I mean, look, it's got to be very specific type of cybernetics too, because fucking up here in Canada, I can't be walking around with metal attached to my flesh. Goddamn, middle of winter. There goes my fucking temperature durability.
Yeah,
I mean, no one's making you live there.
Robo Della's stuck in the ditch down there somewhere.
His joints froze solid.
Foot stuck to the ground.
Someone, quick, grab an oil can. The Tin Man is rusted solid.
Oh my god.
I'm just glad that the global warming is finally starting to kick in, man. Because it's like 63 right now where I'm at.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
lucky.
It was 7 here this morning.
Look, we were in the
that's
30s
too
yesterday.
cold. I don't like single digits. I don't like negative digits.
That's fair.
Honestly, getting below 60 at this point is getting to be too much for me. So I'm just gonna start like spraying hairspray at the window and shit.
I like the cool side of 20, to where you got the snow on the ground. It's not, particularly packed in or anything. You can still go snowmobiling.
Oh, okay, I guess I should rephrase. My problem isn't so much the cold as it is the wind.
That's
Like
fair.
if there was no air blowing, that colder weather, okay, fine. Just layer up. But when you got the cold and the wind being on the plains, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
Oh man, I hate the wind so much, and like for someone like me who walks everywhere, it really sucks too. Because, like you said, it doesn't really have to be all that cold, but the wind can still be pretty fierce. And when it's that fierce, I can't even see because like I got only one eye, and and the wind's blowing in that eye, and I can't even keep it open to fucking see what's in front of me.
Yeah, yours is probably like, how much do I want to eat today?
Yeah.
And Addie's taking responsibility. He says it's the gay's fault.
Like you see on video games where they got the fucking when you got the fucking snow effect in Ark and stuff like that, and your screen starts freezing over. That's literally what it looks like when I'm walking in the wind.
Oh, poor Della and Ark.
I remember when I think it was already -7 when I had a 4-wheeler that I rode to work and back, and my goggles froze over. And so I just flipped them up, and I was only like a couple blocks away from my house. So I'm thinking, hey, here's a good idea. I'll flip my goggles open and scrub it out real quick, and at least it'll get me the couple of blocks down to where I can go.
Oh.
So it's -7 with a wind chill, and then I, in my infinite wisdom, who am going 25 miles an hour down the road, flip my goggles up. And
went blind.
My eyes immediately just, and I'm like, okay, that was a bad idea.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, like I've been taking care of Nana's dogs while she's been on the mend, and she's got Chihuahuas. So I've been gauging how, if it's too cold or not by whether or not they're willing to go outside to pop a squat.
That's fair.
Like they'll run right out the door and then they'll run right back in. It's like, nope, too cold. All right, cool.
Yeah, my wife's dog is like that, and he is a husky lab mix, and he is a big cold weather bitch. I fucking hate that dog. He takes 2 steps out, and he's like, "I'll just pee here," and then just runs back in.
He's on the house and goes back in.
Hey Johnny, just in from Twitter. William Hung has announced he is removing "Shebang" and other top hits from Spotify in support of Neil Young.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm pretty sure that's a joke, but that's funny.
It's been going around quite a bit.
I just saw it. So
the Lone Rangers.
The Lone Rangers.
The Lone Rangers removed theirs off of Spotify.
I think Tupac said the same thing.
Let's see here.
That's literally the only thing I use Spotify for is to listen to Rogan podcasts, because they're like 2-3 hours long, and like he'll do those ad reads for it. You can just kind of skip forward a bit, run right past them. And then it's got to be, a guest that I actually want to hear from. I don't know anybody that listens to the Rogan podcast for Rogan.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Wouldn't that be something?
they listen to it for him talking to interesting people. Not, I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard him talk about DMT. I don't want to hear him talk about DMT anymore.
I'll be right back.
They're asking in chat, why does anybody give a shit if Neil Young is on spot? I don't know. Like I said, like the last time I heard about Neil Young was 5-10 years ago, maybe longer at this point. He was trying to develop some kind of audio platform for streaming, I think. I didn't even know he'd sold like half his catalog or half the rights to his catalog, whatever.
Got to make that money somehow.
And Yeah, I'd forgotten that he was even alive before all of this. Didn't know he was married to Daryl Hannah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently. Like I knew John Mellencamp was married to was it Meg Ryan, but
Holy shit.
I did not know that Neil Young was married to Daryl Hannah.
2018.
Oh, Mr. S says, I'm glad that Tom Brady is retiring. So he is retiring, huh? No, good for him.
The guy who feels bad that his supermodel wife has to console him.
Or sad.
I never found Giselle all that attractive. She's too skinny for me, and she's got the kind of the horse face like Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't get it. First Ben, now Tom. Well, I mean, they've been playing for a while, you know. What Tom Brady's in his mid-40s, Ben Roethlisberger's in his late 30s at this point.
I would definitely say that Michelle Monaghan is way hotter.
Why? Who's she married to?
Well, she's the one who had Tom Brady's baby. Was it Michelle Monaghan?
I'm unaware. Although, like,
Yes.
Oh, really?
No, not Michelle Monaghan.
No. Okay.
Well, since we're...
I mean, at least with Michelle Monaghan, you wouldn't have to learn Portuguese, you know. There's a benefit there.
I think it's Bridget Monaghan.
Bridget Monaghan. Oh, the chick from Blue Bloods? And iRobot?
Yeah.
She was married to Tom Brady?
She was dating him.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I take her over Giselle. Again, yeah, anything that keeps me from having to learn Portuguese. You know?
What else was she in? Wait a minute.
I remember her from the Robot movie, and I think she did one with like Keanu Reeves. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Wait, wasn't she the wife that dies in John Wick?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. See, if she hadn't died, he would have had to kill all those people because of that damn puppy.
Right?
It's all her fault. She's the villain of the movie.
Always a woman.
I find it funny she has such a pivotal role in that movie, and she says 3 lines in the first movie. Like, but I mean, it's a character plot for for Wick, so it's like.
I don't know. She's done a bunch of stuff, but like the most I've seen her in is Blue Bloods on TV.
Yeah, that's what's current.
I still have Liar Liar pulled up from earlier.
Oh my god.
You know, that kid in that movie, he was in a bunch of stuff for a while. Whatever happened to him?
Which one?
Hollywood.
The one that played the son in Liar Liar, Justin Cooper. Yeah, he's only a few months older than me. Let's see. Oh, last credit was in 2003.
Practice, yeah.
Oh, he probably grew up then.
Yeah, he probably got the fuck out of Hollywood.
The one that I think is the best example of, like, you know, somebody who like was a child actor and is like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and nope on out, was the kid from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh yeah.
Or Willy Wonka. Pardon me, the original with Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
That dude's a farmer now.
Nice.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I went ahead and made that movie and then just fucked off.
Probably walked in on Weinstein's sitting in sniffing his wife's or sniffing his mom's chair. Say, yeah, I'm done.
God dang it! Now I'm looking at Liar Liar. Oh, I forgot Jennifer Tilly was in this. That voice used to like drive me nuts.
Oh man, that's
Weight 120 pounds. Right in your bra.
right.
Oh, Randall Tex Cobb was in this one too.
Yeah.
I forgot about him being in there.
Kenneth Falk. Point ding.
Sherry O'Terry. Oh yeah, she was the receptionist with the crazy hair. You know, what do you think about my hair? You know, whatever takes the focus off your face.
You're right. I've had better. It's like his boss. Like fuck. He gets out of the elevator. It was me. God, I haven't seen this in a long time.
No, getting in the elevator with the chick, the new tenant. Yeah, everyone's been so nice. Maybe it's because you got big boobs. I mean,
I want to squeeze them.
Mommy.
Mommy.
Damn. It's because your boobs are huge. I want to squeeze them.
And poor Carrie Ells.
Yeah.
It's like the only really good person in that movie, beside the kid. That dude was big there for a while, wasn't he? Like, he was in a bunch of stuff in the 90s.
Who else? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Princess Bride was like 80s though.
Oh, that was yeah.
Days of Thunder was another one I remembered him from. That Tom Cruise NASCAR movie.
Come on. There's the obvious one. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah. Oh yes, of course. That was going to be like, you know, the last one I was going to mention. You know, save the best for last.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
It was 93.
Yeah. Why should we follow you? Unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
Do you know praying mantis?
Yeah. Hey, Blinken. Did you say hey, Blinken? No, I said hey, Blinken.
Hey, Blinken. I love that movie.
Actually, it's really funny. Of all the movies to pick when my youngest started staying here, he'd have to have a movie on to go to sleep to. And of all the movies that I gave him to pick from, he chose Robin Hood Men in Tights. And yeah, every time he'd come over, we put it on and he would crash.
He's a good kid.
Isaac Hayes as a sneeze. Dave Chappelle's a chew.
Oh man, such good stuff.
Oh,
I'm on the left side. I'm on the right side.
I'm on the east side. I'm on the west side. This ain't Mississippi, man. A toll is a toll, and a roll is a roll. If we don't get no tolls, then we don't eat no rolls.
Well,
John Ritter's old lady is Maid Marian too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, what's her face?
Yazbek.
There you go.
Call the locksmith.
Call the royal locksmith.
Patrick Stewart is King Richard. It's good to be the king.
It's good to be the king. Broomhilda.
Tracy Ullman, who is still oh so bitter about The Simpsons.
Oh, shit! What was the name that she had? Latrine.
Latrine. Yeah.
Yeah. You changed your name to Latrine? Yeah, it used to be shithouse.
I've got the hots for him. Ugh.
And who can forget Rabbi Tuckman?
Hey, I bet.
I hate that guy. Oh. Yeah, that did make a lot of fun of the Kevin Costner Robin Hood. And I think I've only ever watched like bits and pieces of that one. I think mostly it was just because it had Morgan Freeman in it. I didn't give a shit about Kevin Costner's Robin Hood.
It was a good movie. I mean, as far as a non-British speaking Robin Hood.
Well,
Right.
see, I have the same problem with that movie and Kevin Costner as I do with like just about anything that Sean Connery's been in that's not James Bond. You know,
That's fair.
Highlander. You're the fucking Spaniard. Why do you sound like a fucking Scotsman? Yeah, and you know, I know Scribe probably won't forgive me, but The Hunt for Red October. You're Lithuanian. Why do you sound like a fucking Scotsman?
Cause fuck you, that's why.
I don't know. I have not seen the Russell Crowe Robin Hood yet, but I didn't want a Roman like Robin Hood.
You know, I don't think I've watched. I didn't watch that one either. Now that I think about it, let's see. The last movie I watched was it wasn't even Robin Hood though. It was King Arthur. It was the one with Charlie Hunnam, the Guy Ritchie King Arthur, and I watched like a DVD copy of it, like Redbox or whatever, and it pissed me off because that one like skipped like partway through the movie, so like I don't know how many scenes I missed.
Mm.
But it was a so-so. It was all right. It was Rickman in the Kevin Costner Robin Hood, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. As the sheriff.
Yeah. King Arthur 2004. That was Clive Owen,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Clive Owen.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that movie.
And Keira Knightley.
Never watched it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Keira Knightley was in it.
Oh shit.
That's all I remember of that. Curry was in Three Musketeers with Charlie Sheen.
Yep.
Yeah, it was, Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, and Oliver Platt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's not going to be the same again. Tim Curry.
What, Oliver Platt?
Tim
Oh,
Curry.
Tim Curry? It's stroke, right?
Yeah, ever since his stroke, he's a narrator. he's a voice actor now.
Yeah.
Tim Curry is the reason why I will prefer the was it 90 whatever miniseries of It to the I haven't watched the new ones. You know, give me Tim Curry as Pennywise, and then also Clue.
Oh, Clue.
Loved him in Clue.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was just a red herring.
Let's see.
I'm gonna go ahead and close these out. I don't really care about what Tim has to say of the aftermath of Wounded Knee.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just pretty much him. From what
Just
I saw,
walk it off.
talking about AIM.
Oh, the American Indian Movement.
Yeah,
Commies.
pretty much. It's native Antifa, is what it is.
Oh God. And they saw Antifa and still thought it was a good idea. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Dances with Wolves is a long movie, Mr. Yes. It's all right.
Yeah, I'd say too long.
Mm.
I have not seen it in a good long while. But yeah, I remember as a kid, like this is going on and on.
Well, and if you need a refresher, you can always watch Avatar.
Fair enough. That's true.
Nah, I think I'd rather watch Costner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much it works either way.
Last of the Mohicans is a fast movie with Daniel Day-Lewis.
I watched it in summer school. It wasn't bad.
I was gonna say like I haven't seen that since elementary school, probably at least. And Kyler Dances with Wolves is a 3 or 4 piss movie.
Well, it depends on going by Bloodwing rules. Yeah.
How the hell is Bloodwing? I haven't talked to him in like 3 months.
He pops up from time to time.
Yeah. He doesn't do much.
No.
I think he's just been like working his gig and hanging out with the family.
He's been working his ass off from last I talked to him.
Yeah, I usually see I'll see the J Kid every once in a while.
Yeah, I think I saw him on Twitch a month ago for that. Oh yeah, Jen, you talking about blood? He does have one. Yeah. Last I talked to him, they supposedly had hired a new person to fill the person that left. That person quit within like. Yeah, his store's massively understaffed. That person quit like 3 weeks in. It's just like fuck.
I remember when I worked at the scrapyard, they used to send a bunch of temps from the temp agency.
Be right back.
There was a couple of kids they sent us, like, I don't know, maybe 19, 20. And we get like our first break at like 10 a.m. Start at like 8, have a break at 10, and then noon lunch, have another break around 3 in the afternoon. End of the day be 5, 6 o'clock at night. These guys didn't even make it to the first break at 10 o'clock. They were they just didn't like the gig, I guess. Next thing you know, there's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, waiting. Like, I don't think they're coming back.
Wait,
It got to the point where,
there's a Duckman video game?
A Duckman video game?
You're shocked?
Well, I just never heard of it.
I've never heard of Duckman.
Exactly, but my question still stands.
Oh no, I'm not shocked at all.
But yeah, when I worked at that scrapyard, I would not bother learning anybody's name until they were there at least 2 weeks, because they had just a bunch of dudes like that. They'd leave at lunch and never come back, or maybe they'd make it a day, and then I'll find something else.
Oh, it's a point and click adventure video game. So it's like King's Quest and shit like that.
Of course, that job was a lot more fun when you were sitting in one of the cranes, so. It's a pain in the ass, like windy weather, though. You couldn't load or unload stuff using the cranes. Same thing in the factory. Yeah. Oh, he let them promote him to manager. Yeah, that is always a big mistake.
He let them?
I had a job at one of the stores I worked at where I let them promote me into different positions. I was like, yeah, can I just go back to being a cashier? I was like, you're not paying me nearly enough for the amount of responsibility you expect me to take on here. The dogs are good. We got one snoozing in the recliner behind me right now. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but other than that, keeping all the pooches fed. Try and keep visitors away, because the Rottweiler, he's not too keen on people showing up
randomly.
Yeah. Favorite part is like the girlfriend's oldest. He'll come by, and he's been around. He's stayed with us a time or two. Dog still barks his head off at that kid. So
let's see here. The kids are doing all right. Scarecrow's grown another 2.5 inches, so he's now about 6'4".
Oh wow!
And he could, yeah, he's still he's very much taller than I am. I can still knock him the fuck out, but that doesn't matter.
Well, so far, Kyle says, so call ahead when visiting the Camel Manor. It's like, no, just don't even bother visiting. The only person that's managed to show up at my house that has not riled the dogs up by just, I don't know, like parking is my sister. She's dropped some stuff off for me this past couple weeks, and picked some stuff up from me, all without interacting. So like, I'll leave something outside for her in the carport. She'll leave something for me on like the hood of the car. She's the only person who's managed to like get that close to the house without the dogs going all batshit. And my girlfriend the other day, she's like, did she bring you something? I was like, yeah. She goes, I didn't even hear her pull up. Like, it's like only an Indian can sneak up on an Indian. Yeah.
And how's Mr. Yes?
I think he's still off on a call, or did he come back?
I'm back.
Okay.
Not Mr. Yes was asking about you and Della.
Oh, I'm good. It just, Why do I feel like my voice is awfully low right now?
I
don't know.
Moderately quiet, but we can still hear you.
And I've snuck up on plenty of them, Mr. Yes.
Right.
It's not that hard. A lot of you guys are oblivious. I don't know if you know this.
Now I'm curious. Are you prefacing don't ever sneak up on a white man or that you can't ever sneak up on a white man? Like what?
I have managed to sneak up on people without even trying. Just
Oh, I do it all the time.
I just walk into a room and I've snuck up on everyone in it. That's just how I am. All right? I don't even try. I don't put any effort. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I do that too.
No, it's funny, like being the assistant manager at my night job. Like I would just walk up and walk to the thing, and I'm just walking in, and everyone's just like, "Oh, God, what? Did you sneak up in here on me?" I'm just like, I've been standing here for like 10 minutes. I was waiting for you to say something because you were looking like I'm in your peripheral. You can see me. So I didn't know you were there. I'm like, are you sure? Because, I was here the whole time.
And to back up what Mr. just said in chat earlier, Reuters is reporting that Tom Brady is retiring after 22 seasons.
It's going out a loser. Got it.
He won 7 Super Bowls with the Patriots and Buccaneers.
Well, he's old, so couldn't he go work for the Green Bay Packers?
Maybe he can take a run at Olivia Munn.
I mean, yeah.
ESPN reported on Saturday, he's set to retire after 22 seasons. However, the player, his agent, and his team have yet to confirm the news. The 44-year-old spent 20 seasons with the New England Patriots, winning 6 Super Bowls before relocating to Tampa Bay and leading the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl championship last season.
Speaking of, now that you mentioned him being 44, did you guys know that they were doing a movie about Kurt Warner?
Yeah, with Zachary Levi.
Yeah,
was the one playing him. Actually, they filmed that and another movie in Oklahoma. Like Zachary Levi is moving to Tulsa. He's relocating to Tulsa to live after doing those 2 movies.
No, because I think he is an Oklahoman, isn't he?
I don't think he's an Oklahoma native. I think he's a Midwestern boy or something like that.
So
I have to look him up.
Or was
Hey,
it?
Della, I got a question. You there, Della?
What's up?
Is Trudell hiding out somewhere?
Okay, that's what I'm hearing. But if you want a definitive answer, the fuck makes you think I have it?
So he was born in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see, what was it he did? There's American Underdog, and there's another one. Maybe it's the Thoughts and Prayers. I don't know if that's the one. But yeah, he did like American Underdog and another one like back to back in the Oklahoma area.
Huh.
I think around Oklahoma City or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I like it here, so just gonna buy a house and live out here now. They're doing a Chicken Run 2?
Of course they are.
Why not?
I mean, they're doing another Ice Age again. What is this, like 14?
I don't know, man. I stopped paying attention. Is Ray Romano still doing them?
I have no fucking clue, bro. I stopped paying attention a long time ago.
I mean, no Ray Romano, no Dennis Leary. You know, no point.
Not a bad argument, but I don't even need those. It's just way too fucking many at this point. That's all the reason I need.
Chuck Norris and Brad Pitt were both born in Oklahoma, yes. But if I'm not mistaken, Brad Pitt grew up in Missouri. And Chuck Norris, I'm not entirely sure where. I think he may have grew up in Texas.
But anyway,
I remember watching Walker Texas Ranger as a kid growing up. Yeah, he was born in 1940 in Ryan, Oklahoma. I don't even know where Ryan, Oklahoma is. That's a wee tiny town.
it's on the Panhandle.
That's why I don't get out to Western Oklahoma very much. It's too flat.
He's born on the tip of Oklahoma. It's the only thing.
Oh,
that can hold his power.
he was in he was the last thing he did was TNA Impact Wrestling
Chuck Norris
in 2020. Yeah.
Okay.
And before that, he was in Hawaii Five-0. He was in the Goldbergs in 2015.
Cameos.
Yeah, cameos. No, I loved Walker Texas Ranger because it was just it was something kind of goofy, you know, for a kid to watch. But one of my dad's brother-in-laws, he took that as fucking gospel. He thought like because I was part Indian, like I was fucking magic after watching that show.
Oh my god.
He was like, if you want a mental picture of the man, just imagine Ned Flanders without the mustache.
That's a scary image.
That was a. Yeah, I every time I saw him, I half expected him to say like Oakley Dokley.
Let me run this past you.
Just that goofy, just that goofy religious white guy, you know.
But we're running over 2 hours, so and we could give two shits about Timmy. So do you guys have anything you guys have coming up?
No.
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Yes, here's another little piece of trivia for you. His name isn't actually Chuck; it's Carlos.
There you go.
Carlos Norris. Okay, that was.
I think he joined like the army or something. They're like, "Why is your name Carlos? We're just gonna call you Chuck." They're like, "All right."
But yeah,
and no more with Lorenzo Lamas. Okay, I don't know what got us on that tangent way back in the day, but that one needs to die.
Yeah, we went from one to another, and then it's like, oh, Lorenzo Lamas was there. No, we're gonna stop there now.
I've never even seen an episode of Renegade.
Yeah, he's yeah. I think weren't we talking about? Oh no, that's a rabbit hole I don't want to get down. Anyway,
Oh boy.
so yeah, I know. Let's see, Dayla, do you have any streams coming up tonight?
Nope.
Poppy taking minions tonight then?
Today's Saturday.
Today's Saturday.
Oh, that's right. It is Saturday.
He's got his own channel to worry about as well.
Worry about. That's adorable.
When are you playing Super Seucer again, Della?
When I'm confident that I can get everything going without fucking up.
Oh, is your internet still being?
I'm down to just my desktop now. My laptop died. So I might even just take the year off and save up for a new computer.
Hey, Della.
What's up?
I just saw something. It says CBC suggests that Russia is behind Canadian truckers' freedom convoy.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
All the Russians. Russian collusion.
Fuck off.
You know how we can disrupt everything? We'll take Vladislav and his crew, and we'll have them dress up as Canadians. What's that going to do? I don't know, but it'll be funny.
CBC host Neil Coxall, Koksal,
Neil Cocksucker
made this allegation Friday when speaking with the Minister of Public Safety, Marco Mendicino. Mendicino does not sound very Canadian, Della.
Well, I mean, Trudeau doesn't look very Canadian, but he's still our prime minister.
You know, I hear someone, you know, named Marco Mendicino. I'm thinking like, you know, maybe they live in San Bernardino, not, you know.
Dude, we got a politician in Canada called Jagmeet Singh. Fuck off.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly. Welcome to Canada.
Well, you did have that very prestigious lady who I believe she just.
I swear to God. If you're going where I think you're going.
Oh, it's exactly where you think I'm going.
See, the problem is there's too many places I think it could be going that I could be thinking it could be going. So I don't know which one.
It was the lady who quit because she was or got fired because she was lied about being native.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
See, I was thinking he was going Yaniv, but you know,
That's what I was thinking too.
You can keep her, by the way.
Fuck no.
See, I was for some reason I was thinking of like Canadian pop stars. Like I was thinking maybe Celine Dion or isn't like that Avril Lavigne chick one of yours too?
Yeah, you can keep
yeah,
her
but
too.
I don't mind keeping her. I mean, I won't keep her, but I'll keep her for a night.
He was a skater boy.
And in the morning, she could say, "See you later, boy." I will have no problem with that one.
If you can get her to say it.
But you know, I mean, like the Russians, you know, they really seem like they're on the ball if they're doing all this shit. You know, they're you know causing rallies and this and that and everything else.
Canadians, they're all around us. They walk amongst us.
I just imagine like a mashup between Red Dawn and Operation Canadian Bacon. Now see, like if you want to do a movie like that, I might go watch. You know, just completely mash up the genres. Have the Russians invade Canada.
Oh, man.
Operation Red Canadian Bacon.
Sorry about that.
About what?
The dog in the back.
Oh,
Who gives a shit?
normally it's one of mine barking, so
Yeah,
not that big a deal.
I assumed it was Camel's. I was just waiting for him to tell him to shut up.
Typically, it's either barking or snoring. You get one of the two sounds out of there. But yeah, I gotta go take the kids home, and we are gonna call it here. So, thanks everyone for showing up in chat, participating in the poll. I'm not on the poll. That's different. That's for aunties, actual aunties.
Mm.
And yeah, thanks, Simis, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Right. And yeah, usually we try to schedule, but yeah, the door's always open. So if we send you a link,
Sure,
you're more than likely more than welcome to join. And with that, we are gone. I'm gonna watch Where the Wind Blows or something shit like that. I don't know.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya.